So much stuff happened in Week 14 of the Bad Quarterback League, you'll have to pinch yourself twice to make sure you're not dreaming. I think the entire standings got turned upside down, except for Tim Tebow time, rest his soul. Anyways, let's get it on with
He's made a mess of it.
Brought to you by Tyler Palco. Tyler has been sad all week and doesn't want to talk about the BQBL, so I'll try to put a YouTube annotation on this slide so we can skip this part. For the rest of you guys, let's just say once again the commissioner is in the relegation zone, and with fewer loopholes to get him out of the basement than in 2015. He might actually need to make good picks this year. I was going to feel sad for him, but come on here. He chose to start Miami against an Arizona team that is 1-5 in away games. Then he starts Green Bay for the 5th week in a row at home when the previous 2 weeks they've netted you a grand total of -1 points. They're in the playoff hunt, pal. They say you learn from your mistakes. Well, if that's the case, I think you earned a PhD last week. We have a new trending Twitter trend. It's #BannerChampionWatch 2016. Yeah, it doesn't quite have the ring that the old hashtag did. It's too bad he's competing against Mr. Vote of Confidence himself, Johnny effing Moxon, who remains in first place after not only getting his usual handicap, but also doing actual work and picking his 2 best teams. Despite being in first place, he hasn't picked his 2 best teams since week 8. In second place, no, this is not a typo, it's Spurgeon TSSS win. While he lost a lot of ground on first and now has 3rd place closing in, he's still got a healthy lead on that relegation zone that was chasing him up to last week. However, he seemed to pick up this nasty habit from Wade Wilson of picking one team that has scored 0. Speaking of Wade Wilson, this is the first time in 8 weeks he didn't pick a team that scored 0 or -1.
Oh my gosh.
And look where it got him, all the way to 3rd place. Actually, none of his teams got close to scoring 0, and the only blunder he might have made was not picking San Diego, who put up 69 points this week, only bested by Seattle. And of course, no one picked the top 2 teams this week, because you're all scum.
I only consider you scum compared to Krusty. Yeah, you see how you scum.
Clocking in with another pedestrian week is Chad Hutchinson. He seems to neither light up the scoreboard nor do poorly. An average scoring gets you an average ranking of 4th. Despite winning, something Cam isn't too familiar with this season, Newton only completed 37% of his passes, which means he's being heavily recruited by Purdue. You know what's weird about being in 4th place this year? Everyone that's been in 4th place has also spent time in the relegation zone at some point. Everyone except Chad Hutchinson. Good luck! Cleo Lemon checked his crystal ball and caught wind that Big Ben was going to have a bad game, and it was right. 3 picks later, and Cleo has a decent score to prop up his Buffalo start. Cleveland would have been a better choice, but that's easy to say when Buffalo has only outscored Cleveland 3 times this season in BQBL points. The only place Kellen Moore hasn't been in all season is 5th. I think there should be bonus points for things like that, and the last person to not have a negative week, etc. Spurgeon will probably be the only other person to be able to place in every spot, but he'll need a weekly finish in 3rd and 1st. The bench had another terrible week, dropping to the hypothetical relegation zone. Why does Jamarcus Russell have to ruin everything? First Oakland and now this? I don't think we've ever seen a fall from 1st place to the relegation zone this late in the season happen this fast. It only took Palco 3 weeks. If Tim Tebow time had started Seattle this week instead of Baltimore, he would have 321 points right now, which would have put him only 72 from salvation. As much as I've dogged Tyler Palco for his bad week, perhaps Tim Tebow time deserved this week's He's Made a Mess of It honors more, as you are probably not going to have another opportunity like this pass you by again.
Turbush Week 14. Wow, compared to the Kirsch League, this week was a snore for you guys. McNown is letting Mormon challenge him for the top spot, but like finishing 1st place in the WNBA, it's not like 1st place in the Turbush League really matters. I am increasing Ryan Leaf's chances of promotion from 0% to 1% after this week.
1 out of 100. So you're telling me there's a chance?
It looks like Winky finally woke up from his 6-week nap just to make sure Russell didn't pass him. Jamarcus's magic number is 8, because that's the number of weeks this season he has scored in the single digits, either positive or negative.